Alright, so today we're working on a 2018 Jeep Cherokee. Problem with this vehicle is it will crank and not start. Other times it'll start and stall after a few minutes. So let's see what it's going to do right now. Okay, so right now it's just cranking. I did scan it for codes. I have the scan tool hooked up to it. No codes in it whatsoever. So I think what we're going to have to do here is hook up the scope, check cam crank and injector and coils, and just see exactly what it is that we're missing. Alright, we'll go check that. Okay, so I already checked cam and crank with the coil and injector there, and I will show you that waveform on the next slide here right now. Okay, so here we have our coil and injector and our cam and crank here. Red is going to be our injector number 1, blue is going to be coil number 1, yellow is going to be our cam sensor, and green is going to be our crank sensor. So this is with it cranking and not starting, and right away you can see here that there is something going on with our coil and maybe the injector as well. Now let's just zoom in here and see if we can get a closer look. Alright, so we can see our cam and crank look okay. There's a little bit of noise there, but I'm not too worried about that. The main issue is going to be our coil here in blue. Now, just for reference, I do have a known good for this vehicle. This is what it should be looking like when it's running normally. So if we just go back over here, you can see right away there's a big difference. Something definitely going on here with our coil circuit, so we're going to have to look into that further. After doing the cam and crank, I decided to check ECM powers and grounds while cranking. I did that as well, checking the coil current and coil control circuit, and I'll show you that slide right now as well. So here we have our powers and grounds at our ECM, which are going to be the green is going to be our ignition input to our PCM. Our yellow circuit here is going to be the ground. The red circuit is the coil current, and the blue trace here is going to be the coil power feed. So this is the power going to the coil. We should have solid 12 volts going straight across here the whole time, but instead we have it dropping out to 0 every time it tries to hit that coil. So my idea here with checking powers and grounds first, I wanted to make sure that this ECM wasn't getting messed up by a lack of power or a lack of ground or anything like that, but here it looks pretty solid. On another scope recording, I did have the B plus going to the ECM as well. I just couldn't fit it on this because we only have the 4 channels. So powers and grounds to our ECM look fine. I think what we're going to do now is focus on this, the power feed to the coil, because that's definitely not right. It should not be dropping out like that whatsoever. So if we just go over to our wiring diagram here, this brown and yellow circuit coming out of the fuse panel and coming down to the coil, that is the one that I'm tapped into right at the coil. So it should have a solid 12 volts on it at all times. But every time the ECM tries to fire this coil and hits that circuit with a load, the voltage drops right out to 0. So that right there immediately tells us that we have some sort of corrosion or resistance in this this brown and yellow circuit here. So we're just gonna have to figure out whether it's in this wire here or whether it's in the fuse panel itself or the ASD relay. So we're gonna have to do a few more tests there. Okay, so now that we know we are losing power at our B plus on the coil there, I'm just going to check and make sure that we have good power going into the ASD relay at the TIPM. So it goes in through these circuits here and gets routed through the TIPM and sent out on the ASD relay. So I'm going to check and make sure that it's routing, the power routing between here and the output for the ASD relay is good. So we're going to monitor that here. I'm also just monitoring B plus going into the TIPM there, and I'm also having a look at we're going to have a look at the power at the coil again while we're cranking it. So I'll just go crank this thing.
So
So just to kind of explain what I'm doing in this test here, I have one lead of the scope, I believe the red lead, hooked up to our B plus terminal at the fuse panel, and the yellow lead I have hooked up at pin 30 of the ASD relay. And basically all I'm doing here is to check and see if there is a voltage drop in this circuit between the battery terminal on the fuse panel and pin 30. It's basically just checking the integrity of this circuit within the fuse panel. Now here's the scope shot of the test that we just did. So our red trace here is going to be our B plus at the battery terminal on the fuse panel. The yellow trace here is going to be the voltage at pin 30 of ASD relay, and the blue and green trace are going to be, this is going to be our power input at the coil, our voltage input, and this is going to be our control side. So basically these two circuits here are what feed power to this circuit at the coil. Here we have solid power going into the fuse panel and coming out at pin 30, but we have, you can see the voltage drop here whenever it tries to fire that coil on the coil circuit. So we know that the issue isn't between the B plus terminal at the fuse panel and pin 30, so now we got to continue on and see if it's on the other side of pin 30, which is going to be here. We have to figure out whether it's whether the issue is between 87 and pin 18, or whether it's in this wire between pin 18 and the ignition coil. So now we're going to go and check our voltage coming out of the TIPM here, or the fuse panel, to make sure that to see if the voltage drop that we're dealing with is within the fuse panel or in this wire. B plus coming out of the TIPM here. We're going to monitor it at the coming out of the TIPM and again at the coil here. So the green trace and the yellow trace is the same wire, just two different locations, one at the TIPM, one at the coil. So we're going to see if they look the same, then we're going to call it for a TIPM. If they look different, then there's going to be a break in the wire there. So what we're going to be looking for is whether or not this stays solid and this one stays choppy, or whether they're both choppy. If they're both choppy, it's going to get a TIPM. If this is solid at B plus, this is choppy, then we're going to crank this thing. Okay, it started, so we're going to have to wait for it to stall here. But you can see right now the yellow and green trace, which is at our coil and our TIPM, they look the same, so we're going to wait for it to stall. Okay, so it stalled here on the waveform where this is it running here. This is where it stalls. Then I went over and cranked it again, and you can see the yellow trace and the green trace. They look identical here. So that's coming right out of the TIPM, and that's coming right, that's at the coil up there. So this thing is going to need this fuse panel, TIPM, PDM, whatever you guys want to call it. It's going to need the fuse panel because it is bad coming right out of the fuse panel. And I'll blow this up on the screen here so you can see it better. So this is the screenshot, or the scope shot that we were just looking at on the video here. This yellow trace is going to be our the coil power supply coming right out of the fuse panel, and this green one here is going to be that same circuit right at the coil. And we can see here, if we zoom in on this, both circuits look identical. So the issue is coming right out of that fuse panel. So likely what's happened is the circuit inside has become compromised, and there's a resistance in there somewhere. So when it tries to fire that coil and hit the circuit with a load, the circuit can't handle it, and the voltage drops to 0 on the other side of the resistance. So this vehicle did require a TIPM. Now one thing I didn't mention that I did check as well is I checked pin 18 on this connector to make sure it wasn't corroded, because these panels and connectors are very common for getting corrosion in them. And I also checked to make sure that the fuse wasn't open or corroded, and it tested fine as well. So the issue was right in here in the fuse panel somewhere. So basically this got a fuse panel, and it resolved the issue.
If you like this video, please let us know by following us or liking us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you want access to more in-depth training videos, please visit our website at www.autoaid.ca. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.